The American Revolution, spanning from 1765 to 1783, was a pivotal conflict that led to the establishment of the United States of America as an independent nation. It began as a series of protests against British policies and taxation without representation, escalating into a full-scale war for independence. Key events included the Boston Tea Party, the signing of the Declaration of Independence in 1776, and decisive battles like Saratoga and Yorktown. The revolution was characterized by ideological shifts towards republicanism, the quest for liberty, and the struggle against colonial rule. It concluded with the Treaty of Paris in 1783, recognizing the sovereignty of the United States. This period not only reshaped the political landscape of North America but also inspired other revolutions worldwide, emphasizing concepts of self-governance and individual rights. The Boston Tea Party was a pivotal event in American history that occurred on December 16, 1773. It was an act of political protest by the Sons of Liberty in Boston, Massachusetts, against the tea tax imposed by the British government through the Tea Act of 1773. Disguised as Mohawk Indians, the protesters boarded 3 British ships, the Dartmouth, the Eleanor, and the Beaver, and threw 342 chests of tea into Boston Harbor. This act was in defiance of the tea tax and the monopoly given to the British East India Company to sell tea in America, which colonists viewed as taxation without representation. The Boston Tea Party escalated tensions between Britain and the American colonies, leading to the British government's enactment of the Coercive Acts, known in the colonies as the Intolerable Acts, which were punitive measures aimed at Massachusetts. These events were among the key catalysts that led to the American Revolution. The Boston Tea Party remains a symbol of resistance to oppressive policies and a significant moment in the quest for American independence. The American Revolution was sparked by a complex mix of political, economic, social, and ideological causes. Here's a summary of some of the key reasons. Political causes. Taxation without representation. Colonists were subjected to taxes by the British Parliament, such as the Sugar Act, 1764, the Stamp Act, 1765, and the Townshend Acts, 1767, without having any representation in that legislative body. The slogan "No taxation without representation" became a rallying cry. British control and legislation. The Intolerable Acts, 1774, passed in response to the Boston Tea Party, were seen as an attempt to punish Massachusetts and tighten control over the colonies. These included the closure of Boston Harbor, the Quartering Act, and changes to the Massachusetts government. Economic causes. Economic strain. The end of the French and Indian War, 1763, left Britain with a large debt. The British tried to alleviate this by taxing the colonies more heavily, which was met with resistance. Trade restrictions. The Navigation Acts limited colonial trade to primarily benefit Britain, which was seen as an economic stranglehold on colonial prosperity. Social causes. Growth of a distinct American identity. Over time, the colonists developed a sense of identity separate from Britain, partly due to geographical distance and the experience of self-governance in local assemblies. Ideological causes. Enlightenment ideas. Enlightenment philosophers like John Locke argued for natural rights, government by consent, and the right to rebel against tyranny, ideas that resonated with American colonists. Rights and liberties. Many colonists believed they were entitled to the same rights as Englishmen, including protection from arbitrary power, which they felt were being violated by British policies. Immediate triggers. Boston Massacre, 1770. The killing of 5 colonists by British soldiers raised tensions and anti-British sentiment. Boston Tea Party, 1773. The destruction of tea in Boston Harbor was a direct act of defiance against the Tea Act and British control. Lexington and Concord, 1775. The first military engagements of the Revolutionary War occurred here when British troops tried to seize colonial military supplies, leading to the shot heard round the world. These causes collectively led to widespread discontent, protests, and eventually, the push for independence. The Declaration of Independence in 1776 formally articulated the colony's grievances and their intent to form a new nation. On July 4, 1776, the 13 American colonies officially adopted the Declaration of Independence, formally announcing their separation from British rule. Drafted primarily by Thomas Jefferson, with input from other members of the Committee of Five, including John Adams and Benjamin Franklin, the document was approved by the Continental Congress. The signing ceremony took place in Philadelphia's Independence Hall, although most delegates signed the document on August 2, 1776. The Declaration laid out the philosophical foundation for independence, listing grievances against King George III and asserting the natural rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This act was a pivotal moment in American history, marking the birth of the United States as an independent nation. Thank you for watching another episode of Honoring the Departed. Please like, subscribe and comment and hit your notification bell. Honoring our history and the departed are an important tool for shaping our future.